Howdy guys, it's Luke at Luke's APS, and in this video I'm going to talk about my first impressions about the Scale 75 colour range and just the misconceptions that I had, and just go through what I actually think about them. I'll see you after this. So guys, Scale 75. I've been put off buying these for a very long time. The reason being is it's what people say in the community about a paint. Now, these are not negative comments that put me off buying them. These are what people see as positive comments. What I mean by this is, for example, me as a painter, I'm not going to say that I'm a very confident painter because I know I'm not amazing. I can do a decent tabletop standard, I can paint. I mean, I did it for a business for so long, painting miniatures. I still do the odd one now, but I never say I can do display quality miniatures. I try and do my best, but I'll never be up there with the pros because I just don't have the time to paint miniatures and practice all the different skills. Now, this is what put me off Scale 75, because a lot of the high-end painters were saying things like, they're very transparent, they're amazing for wet working, they're amazing for blending. Now, this put me off as a painter that thinks like I do, and I think this put off a lot of new painters used to using Games Workshop paints, the Citadel paints. They're very opaque, they're very good for throwing on a model. Army painter, straight out of pot, smash them on, awesome. Coat of arms, pot, open a pot, smash it on, awesome. I'm used to painting that way. Since going to the wet palette and learning how to use a wet palette, I'm starting to like transparency. I'm starting to get why people like that. But to hear that a brand new paint is transparent from the word go put me off. Because I was thinking, well, if I can't use them like I want to use them, then I'm probably not going to like them. So that put me off. But because of what I've been doing with a wet palette, and because I've been experimenting with painting and layering and trying to better myself as a painter, I bought some. I spent about 45 quid on all the colours that you've seen. I buy things in trios. I try and buy 3 colours that are close to each other but significantly different, so you can get a nice gradient just using 3 colours. Working in threes is a good way to do it. And this is what I found. As you can see, straight out the pot onto this white piece of plastic card, even the bright colours are very, very opaque, okay? Straight out the pot, this is no adding no water or anything like that. The pigment in these paints is unreal. Absolutely unreal. I really like them. A lot of people said to me that they're very different, they're going to take some getting used to, Luke. Even close friends like Elster Nation, check him out on YouTube, has said, you take some getting used to, they're very different, they're very different. And they are very different. But I can actually use these paints how I'm used to using them. And with them being, shall we call them, gel-based, a lot of people say gel-based, they're a very thick pigment, the pigment's not thick, but the medium's very thick. So you can, it's very easy to paint with them and not leave brush strokes, as in it's like moving a gel around. So I guess that's why people say they're gel-based. But the pigment is so strong in this paint, straight out the bottle, even adding 1-to-1 with water, you get some awesome coverage. And this is even over white with pale colours. So if you're worried about using Scale 75 for this reason, don't be at all. I'm just on that alone, when I first got them out of this pot and did that with them, I was astounded at the quality of this paint. Now, this is not sponsored, this is not a paid promotion, this is me. I wanted to try these paints that a lot of pro painters are using and getting awesome results with, just to see how different they are. Now, the differences that I found, and the bits that I found quite weird to get used to, is how matte they are. When they dry, they are so matte, okay? It's not weird as in the sense of you've got to get used to it. You just look at it and it's just not used to what you're seeing. It's so matte. It looks like a finished model after putting it on and you spray it with a matte varnish. Now, the only issue that you've got with that is when you come to putting a wash on it. So when you put a wash on something so matte, it doesn't work as well. So you will have to gloss the model prior to chucking the wash on. So that's the only thing that I've found that's something I've got to get used to. Now for watering them down and layering and everything else, again, I'm no professional, I'm not amazing at painting. But as you can see on the model, as I'm layering the colours up and when they're dry, the graduation's very nice, and I'm just using it on a wet palette. I'm just using 2 blues close to each other and then 3 for the very highlight. Again, this is me just rushing, I'm not putting any effort in, I'm just playing. So it's not the best work, but as you can see, it's very easy. And as it dries, they really do blend into each other. So this paint, for me, is amazing. Absolutely amazing, to the point now where I think I'm going to go out, possibly purchase the entire range. Will it replace my older paints? I don't know. Depends on what colours they've got in the range. I only picked up a couple. But for me, for any way of painting, the only thing I haven't tried with these yet is dry brushing, which I'm going to have a go at dry brushing with them and see how they cope. But with how heavy that pigment is, I don't think they're going to have an issue, but we'll see. And you'll see me talk about these paints more as weeks go on, as I start painting on camera and stuff again, because I've got a couple of commissions in at the minute painting a few models, so you'll see me doing that. So to wrap this up, guys, the questions that I've been asked, a lot of new painters have been saying, what do you think for scale 75 for a new painter? The answer is, if I were a complete novice, and when I first started out, I just used paints out at pot, maybe a bit of water if it was starting to dry a bit, I don't think you're going to have a problem. If anything, I think these will help you more as painters starting out, because the pigment's so strong. Sometimes over white you might have to double layer, but you have to do that with any colour. But the pale colours go on very well, the dark colours go on quite well, the brown a little bit transparent in areas, but 2 coats you're sorted. I think for new painters, these paints can teach you a lot because they're so friendly to watering them down. It's like with a lot of, say, army paint, even things like coat of arms and Citadel, sometimes if you've had a tiny bit too much water, they're not going to work with you. They're not going to play at all. They're not going to play ball. Whereas with these paints, they're very forgiving. So you can really water them down to almost glaze. Now, I don't know whether this is factual or anything, but it's almost like the pigment's like an ink, like a liquid pigment. I could be wrong. It could be a powder pigment that's completely different. I don't know enough about paint science to know. But all I know from watering these paints down and playing is the fact that they hold the properties of the paint far better than loads of other paints that I've used. So, like I've said, completely unbiased review and everything. I've not been paid anything. I don't even know the company. I don't even know who they are. I don't know where they're from. I've not even spoke to them. I was in a model shop. Or in Element Games, a Kings of War tournament, and I thought, I'm going to buy myself some new models. Buy myself some new paints, sorry. And you know what made me buy them new paints? The new Gore-Trek model from Games Workshop. So whenever that drops, I'm buying that because it's a dwarf and I like dwarves. So when I buy that, you're going to see me painting that. And I'll probably mess with a skin pack from Scale 75. And what I like about Scale 75, doing the skin pack, they even put greens in it, which is good for, you know, base tones of skin, which will be nice to play with. But anyway, guys, I'm just yabbering now. And for me, these paints are awesome for any form of painter. And I think, to be honest, they're a lot more helpful to new painters because you can water these right down and they'll hold themselves far better. And to be honest, it's really changed my opinion on a lot of paints using these. So yeah, I hope I don't piss off any of my affiliates, but it's true. I just really like the paint a lot. I even prefer them over Vallejo. I never thought I'd say that. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you've liked this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and all that. And check out my shop. Keep supporting me. It's awesome. Love, love, love. Right, guys, if you're still here, it's because you're a super fan. And what I like to do for my super fans is give a little bit away. All right, guys. Anybody that's bought my scenics out at geekgaming.co.uk or used them All you need to do is go leave a review on the website. And on the 15th of every month for the foreseeable future, we're going to give that one lucky customer £20 off their next order. And we're going to do that every month. All you've got to do is go leave an honest review. Don't want you blowing smoke up my ass, just leave an honest review. Reviews are good, okay? It means I can take feedback from them and it's good for this website. So leave us a review, we'll reward one person on the 15th of every month. So you can get some for next note next time you order. For all you super duper Calelastic Get the Aldocious fans, I'm also going to be attending a weekender, which is the Top Table Legacy Weekender. It's going to be held on the 11th to 13th of October this year. And over the Friday and the Saturday, I'm going to be showing you how to build a display board. So for anybody that's interested, it's 60 quid to come and learn how to make an awesome display board. Now I can have up to 10 attendants, and also there's going to be gaming there as well that go on to late to the evening. So when we're finished up, we can game all night. There's also a competition for Lord of the Rings there on a Sunday. There's loads happening, but if you just want to go to it, you don't want to actually sit with me and build anything, it's a great weekend just to come, game and play loads of different events, and it's just let your hair down, it's not like a proper tournament. So check all that below, the pictures obviously here as well, but all the info there. But if you just want to come and sit with me and watch how I do things and learn from me, one-on-one, sort of, 1 on 10, more than welcome to, and I'll see you there as well. Alright guys, sorry for that, but I just thought I'd add it all into the end for you. Love, love, love.